What's up everybody, it's CJ Plays here and I'm back with another Rockwood Island renovation video. So the house that we're going to be furnishing today is called the Olander. It is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home and it's also 3 stories. Now y'all, when I first saw this house, I was like, it's giving me like a grandpa styled home, like an older outdated house. So I was like, I don't really want to furnish a house like that today. So I was like, what can I do? I like the idea of it being like very old and outdated, but I didn't really want to make it just for grandparents. And then I was like, oh, it could be for a family. So this is a cluttered retro family styled home technically. So let me explain, right? So you know, a couple bought this house, you know, this was the first house they got, and they weren't really doing too good financially when they bought the house, but you know, they were young, they could get jobs, whatever. Soon after they moved in, they started like doing a little bit of renovation, so they changed the floors, and then the wife realized that she was pregnant with twins. So very quickly, they had to like get furniture and just kind of scrap the renovations. And that's kind of where it leads us to now. So they also have another son who's like a kid and mom is also pregnant again. So yeah, this house is going to get very cluttered. As you can see, the space is super small and the family is kind of poor. Okay, so what they had to do when they first had kids was they had to like kind of like go to the store, get stuff for a nursery, get like stuff for the house. So they went to like a thrift shop and they were just getting like really cheap furniture just for the house. But so by happen, a lot of the furniture that was the cheapest at the thrift store was like the stuff that was the oldest, which was like, you know, stuff from the 80s, then 70s. So this house is very, very outdated with the furnishing. Like look at this TV with the entertainment center. It is just so old. We have like these really old couches. These are like those couches where if you hit it, dust flies up. Yeah. They have like a really old rug. They have an old coffee table. Half of this house is wood paneling, which kind of makes sense. The house was old already. So I guess they kind of just like furnished it more to be like the 70s. It's kind of interesting though, because I like the idea of this family. They're kind of like living in a time capsule, if that makes sense, where they live in like the modern era. You know, we have phones, we have computers, all that stuff, but inside of the house is like you stepped back in time. Like they live like they're in the 70s and 80s, like legit. Like half of the house is just really old, but I kind of just like that idea. I haven't really done anything like that before and I just thought it was kind of funny and I was like, yeah, we just kind of have to go with this idea. So as you can see, we have our living room. I also wanted to put up some art on the walls. So we have like this sports picture of like a sports team. I would imagine that was probably the dad when he was younger. I was trying to like figure out how else to furnish this room, so I got a bunch of random pieces of artwork and I just kind of put them all on the wall, and it kind of makes sense because I feel like in terms of real life you would see something like this in a lot of people's houses, especially older houses. They'll just have like a lot of different size picture frames all together and somehow it always just kind of matches, and that's kind of what I wanted to go for this room, where they just have like a lot of not quite mismatched things but kind of mismatched in a way. Well, moving on, we are in the kitchen, y'all. This was a process. I don't know what it is with me lately and making ugly kitchens in The Sims, but I kind of like it and I don't know why. So I knew that I wanted this kitchen to be very outdated, so I had to go for the tile. This kitchen was almost green and yellow. I even like put the matching tile to go with the floor, and then I was like, CJ, we can't do this. You know, like it looks nice if that's what you're going for, like a very, you know, outdated kitchen, but I just couldn't do it, y'all. I couldn't bring myself to make it that color, so I went with the green and white. And I think that looks a lot better. I use these really like older craftsman styled countertops in here. I use the old stove. I forgot what set that comes with. And then I use the fridge from the Supernatural pack in here as well. The color in here is very much green and white and a little bit of brown. But like I said, I think the kitchen turned out pretty okay. Like I said, y'all, had this family had more money and more time to renovate the house, it would have been more modern, but listen, they had to go with what they got to go with. And nowadays, since they already have more children and another one on the way, you know, if they want to remodel this house, it's gonna have to be like way down the line. Like maybe when they're elders. Like legit, probably when they're elders, because like, yeah, this family could very much use motherload right now. But I also wanted to use this circular table in here. I actually like this one. I don't use it all too often, but it's really nice and it kind of gives off a retro mid-century style vibe to me. So I knew that I had to use that in here somewhere. I just had to turn on and off move objects a bunch just to make sure that I could put everything in here without like stuff, you know, not working and stuff like that. I also noticed towards the end of the video that I did not put a sink in here or a trash can. And I don't know what it is lately, y'all. Like, do y'all do this? I mean, I feel like I've asked this before, but I'm gonna ask again. If you build or when you build or whatever, do you sometimes forget furnishings for the house? Cause I do. Like sometimes if I'm making like a bathroom, I'll forget the toilet, or if it's a kitchen, it'll be like the sink. It's usually the trash can, but like nowadays it's kind of like the sink. So do y'all do that too? Or is it just me? Like, is this just a CJ thing? Cause I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but you'll see it towards the end of the video. I did go back, I put a trash compactor in here. I used the one from Generations, and I also put a sink. So what I did was I got rid of the coffee machine and I moved the microwave on top of the countertop beside the fridge, and then I put a sink on the other side. So your Sims can use the corner counter if they want to cook and stuff like that. So yeah, this kitchen should be functional. I do need to play test this house though, especially in the upstairs room, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So we're pretty much finishing up with the kitchen, and then I noticed that we had this really weird shaped room. Now, I like a good challenge, especially when it comes to building. Like, usually in houses like this, I will change the floor plan if I feel like it could just be done a different way. But I liked this weirdly shaped room. I was like, this could either be like a pantry or it could be a bathroom, and I was like, I kind of want it to be a bathroom. So this is the first bathroom. I kind of went with like a similar wallpaper that the living room uses, but I kind of just made it like a green kind of color. It looks really like dirty if you think about it, but I ended up using that in here. I used the pet's toilet and shower, and then I want to say that the sink is maybe from the Bayside set. I can't remember the set from the Sims 3 store, but I like this sink because it has like space for towels underneath it, and I was like, oh, we gotta use that because like this family needs all the space they can get. Moving on to the upstairs portion, I was trying to like figure out what room to furnish first. So I was like, why don't we like handle like the biggest room and we just give that to the parents? So as you can see, the parents room had a ladder and it kind of goes up to the attic, so I decided to put that into the kids room so the parents could have a lot of space. And then I realized too that if I tried to put a double bed in here, there was no way that two Sims could get in that bed, because I think in the Sims 3 your Sims need like 2 tile spaces around beds to use it, and I was like, oh, that's not gonna work. This house has 2 bathrooms in the hallway, so what I did was I just turned one of them into an ensuite and I made it a little bit smaller just so the parents could have their own private bathroom, and also so I could make more room in the bedroom. So yeah. So I use like this older style bed. I use the dresser from the Hughesman set in here. I also found this chair from the 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff pack. It's like one of the living room chairs. I had no idea, y'all, and I've had this pack for years, but I had no idea that one of the swatches makes the chair look really old and dirty, and I was like, we have got to use it. I like to think that the dad probably did not go to the thrift shop to find this chair. He probably was coming home, passed by the dump, and then saw like this really nice chair, and he was like, oh, I can wipe the chair down. It's like leather. I can wipe it down. It's gonna be nice. And then like it has like stains and stuff that you just can never get out. But, you know, it's technically clean, but it has a lot of stains in it. So, yeah, I think he's the only one that sits in that chair, though. But I just thought it was kind of cool because I have never seen this watch. It's kind of like a rundown, grody-looking style chair, and I was like, oh, I gotta use that in here. Like, I just had to. I also used the pet's nightstands in here as well, and I found these lamps. They're from one of the store sets, but they have, like, fruit on them, and I was like, that is kind of like a 70s, 80s type thing. Like to have fruit on your decor. I was like, yeah, we have got to put that in here too. But that's pretty much everything for the parents' room. And then moving on, we are in the kids' room. I got this lofted bunk bed from the store recently, and I knew that I wanted to use it in here. And then I was trying to like squeeze a desk underneath it, and I need to play test this because I don't know if this is functional, and I really hope that it is. I know sometimes you can put a crib underneath a lofted bunk bed, and depending on how you move it, it can be functional, but I don't know how it works with desk, so I need to play test this to make sure. But just know that when you go to download this house, if it's not there anymore, it's because I had to move it. So yeah, we have that. But you know, there is a kid in here, and then they also have a crib in here now because, like I said, mom is pregnant. I really wanted this kid to be really into space. I know that there's like another kid in this world that's really into space too, so I like to imagine like this kid and that kid are friends, you know. But they're, you know, this kid is very much into space, rocket ships, stars, planets, all that kind of thing. So I kind of just wanted to reflect that in here. Also, I love the color of the bunk bed. I also found this like science-y bulletin board, and I knew that I wanted to use that in here just so the kid could have like a little workstation in here to do homework and stuff like that, and like put up science pictures. So I thought that was kind of cool. I also use the Planet baby mobile above the crib because I was like, we gotta use that, y'all. But that's pretty much everything for here. I noticed again when I was finished recording that I did not put a potty in this house so when the parents have a baby, you know, they need a potty. So I did put one in the bedroom just when move objects turned on. And now this is the last bedroom in the house. So like I said earlier, the oldest kids in this house are twins and they're teenagers. I think they're gonna gonna be in a band release, or they're gonna form a band pretty soon. So they got after school jobs because they really are into music, well, specifically like rock music, but they're really into music and they really want to like play an instrument and form a band. So in my brain, I'm like, oh, they got after school jobs, maybe one at a graveyard, maybe one at a grocery store, something like that. And they saved up a bunch of money and they finally got 2 nice electric guitars. One of them is shaped like a spade and the other one is like a more retro styled one. I was like, yeah, they went to the same thrift shop and got that. The parents, I feel like, were probably like the money could have been used for other things, but they like want to support their passion. So, you know, I also gave the twins up here a desk just so they could do homework and stuff like that. I also gave them a laptop too. I feel like they probably would have found a laptop at the thrift store for a pretty good price. And so I gave them one of those in here. I put up a lot of different pictures of like music artists and bands and stuff like that. A university poster as well. I feel like at least one of the twins maybe want to go to college, maybe to major in music or something. I don't know. I also used the dresser from the Showtime pack and I thought that looked kind of nice in here as well. But that's pretty much everything for the entire build. The only other rooms that I furnished after this is just both of the bathrooms. One of them has like blue stripes, a little bit more retro styled. I feel like that one is more so for like the kids to use, and then the parents, of course, they have their own ensuite, which I kind of went with a similar color scheme, like a greenish yellowy kind of color. But that's pretty much it, y'all, for the entire build. So if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like, y'all, comment something down below, subscribe if you haven't already. We recently got to 9,000 subscribers on the channel, so I just want to say a big thank y'all. I feel like we're just growing so much lately, so I just gotta say thank y'all for that. But that's pretty much everything for the entire video. So if you did enjoy it, y'all, like I said, leave a like, comment something down below. If you want to download this build, I am going to leave this link down below as well. So yeah, y'all, that's pretty much all I have for this one, so I will see y'all in the next one. Oh, be sure to stick around for the screenshots, because the screenshots usually just show you how the house looks when you download it, because sometimes I change stuff off camera, so be sure to stick around for the screenshots. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this one, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye! Thanks for watching!